Gamers, how's it going? I just wanted to make a quick video. We have this new set here that came out, yugioh of Light, and there's a couple interesting decks here that I will be covering. The one thing is I was talking a lot about how I thought this deck would be really good, Melodious, and after testing pure Melodious quite a bit this morning, like for a couple hours, I'm realizing into this format, it's really, really bad. And they made it extremely expensive, like way more expensive than it has any right being, honestly. If you didn't already have ostinato, the deck basically costs 10 to 11 URs, not counting, staples and other things of that nature. And so I'm just here looking at this like, if you wanted to play pure Melodious, thinking that it might actually be good, I really don't think that's going to be the case. So I want to recommend maybe not pulling this pack. You do whatever you want with your gems, but we're probably going to be getting Fiendsmith quite soon into the game. My prediction, my expectations is that we would get Fiendsmith probably in the December pack with that big holiday push that they're going to be doing, as they always do. So I really wouldn't be surprised if we see a big meta shift for the December pack. And so it definitely feels like this pack, the reason they made these cards very expensive is to really milk people when Fiendsmith does release. Then for the other archetypes in this box here, most of them are either pretty good or not even all that good at all. So it's like for example, Shining Sarcophagus. This is like 5 URs, which is fair. But Shining Sarcophagus, it'll run you 4 to 5 URs, and it's not very good. So if you wanted this, I would say, I mean, you can pull, maybe just don't pull a lot and just try to craft the cards with like other cards you pull from the box that aren't from the archetype. But I would say just try not to invest too much into this if you are the kind of player that likes to play good decks, that like, if you want to play the meta shifting stuff when it comes out. This is especially for people that are like free to play. You guys have to be a lot more careful with your gems, right? We got a gem sale today, and I spent 5,000 gems, and I had to buy 2 of the gem sales, totaling out to like 9,000 gems, and I still had to dismantle a bunch of cards to build Melodious. And after my testing, honestly, into this format is just very, very bad. So just be very careful, I would say, with this pack. We got Snake Eyes Diabel Star, so Snake Eyes players are getting a bit of a boost here, so I do want to mention like that card is good in Snake Eyes. These cards here, they're better as an engine from my testing. I really don't recommend building pure Melodious this format. Like I was testing ladder, it just loses to too much stuff. Just to give you an idea, you'll lose like to Droplet, which like everyone's running right now. You'll lose to Droll, which is also pretty popular. You'll lose to Maxi, obviously, because it's a pretty hefty combo deck. Depending on the hand, you'll lose to like a single interruption. Not every time, because it does have good gas. Like Ostinato is not a once per turn card. So, there are scenarios where you can play through single interruptions such as Ash and Imperm pretty well, but that will be hand dependent. But like the Droplet is a big one, especially because you want to go first with this deck, and it's a 10 pie format. So like I've gone Dropleted many times. I also got surprised. All our monsters are light, right? So we also get demolished by Bestials at times, or like we struggle against Bestials, and then we also like hard lose to Super Poly, which is also a pretty popular card in many different decks right now. So yeah, from my testing, I feel like the blowouts are really, really good and really popular. So I just don't think it's worth it. Oh, also Shifter. We lose to Shifter. That doesn't help. Shifter is played very regularly as well right now. So there's just too many things, I think, going against Melodious. So I just wanted to clarify, I will still be making a Melodious deck profile, but it will not be pure Melodious. After my testing, I just don't really believe that it's worth running as a pure deck in ladder. It seems like too much of an uphill battle, really, really annoying to play. And unironically, I think like the Flame Swordsman build that I'm considering will unironically do better than pure Melodious. The plan for me for this set here, it's not like we're not going to cover it. There's actually quite a lot to cover with this set. Illusion gets a massive boost. Nightmare Apprentice is an amazing card. This is like, this card summons itself like the Tricky, right? Where you discard a card and special summon it. And then on summon, it just adds any illusion monster from deck to hand. This is one of the best like monsters for a type I've seen, in the sense that like a 3 of extender starter is crazy. It's an extender starter, 3 of, doesn't use your normal summon. Absolutely insane. So it's not like there's nothing good in this pack. This pack has good stuff in it. Oh, also the Phobos is a great Xyz for illusion decks, so definitely can't sleep on that. It's a quick effect monster negate and a quick effect steal in some scenarios. Don't sleep on the pack. I'm not saying the pack is bad. I'm just saying I really think you should be careful with your gems on this one. It seems like more of a gem sink so that they can kind of like swindle you when you're all excited for the next set in December. So I'm expecting probably Fiendsmith for like the meta players, and I'm expecting probably maybe the blue eye support would be pretty cool. Maybe I'm tripping about that, but it just seems like, you know, they like doing the anime fan decks that are actually like pretty decent around the holidays, because it's just a nice holiday push, right? They can market Blue Eyes, and the kids can go spend their Steam gift cards, and that Blue Eye support is actually really good, so I'd be really excited for that. But we'll see. Again, there are things in here, but like for example, if you want to play Flame Swordsman, there's only one UR here, so you can just craft this one. And fucking the rest of the engine is right here. You just play the engine. It's right there. It's awesome. You can play it with Infernoble. I'm going to play it with Fire King because I don't like Infernobles at all, as many people know. And for the rest of the stuff, like you'll probably want 3 of this if you're playing Illusion. Again, I would try maybe to, well, you can try to pull for it, I guess, but just don't overinvest into the pack, you know, like try to figure out what do you want out of this pack. The most expensive thing is if you want the Melodious engine, but I'm going to say, you know, don't focus on getting Etoile because she's not useful for the engine. She's only useful if you're playing the pure Melodious deck pretty much. Even though she's an amazing card, she's just not good enough to justify how many blowouts win against the deck, unfortunately. So here we're going to have, I guess, a bit of a crafting guide very quickly just to end off the video. So if you want the Melodious engine, which is good in a lot of different decks, by the way, this is a very, very good engine because it will net you an Omni Negate, and I'm going to make a deck profile for this. It'll net you an Omni Negate before the 5th summon without using your normal summon off of Ostinato, and it doesn't lock you into anything. So for that engine, you'll want like 3 Ostinato, 3 copies of Refrain, and 2 copies of Bacha. Now, keep in mind, this engine is probably going to get replaced with Fiendsmith for almost everyone when Fiendsmith comes out, but, you know, so that's like at your discretion at that point. It's still very expensive for an engine, but it's a very, very strong engine. It's very cool, and that's probably what I'm going to be covering because it's a lot better as an engine, in my opinion, than as a pure deck in Master Duel in the current format. And the next format is going to be Fiendsmith. At that point, I don't think a lot of people are going to be wanting to play pure Melodious, so I think it came out at a very unfortunate time, basically. So let me just do it by order because like I'm yapping a lot. So 2 copies, 1 to 2, probably more like 1 copy. This one, 2 copies for the engine, 3 if you're playing pure, but you shouldn't. If you're playing pure, 2 copies, 0, 1 to 2 for Shining Sarcophagus. 1 copy, definitely don't want to draw that one. 3 copies of Nightmare Apprentice if you play Illusion. Honestly, 0 copies of this one. I don't know if some people are coping on this card. I think it looks atrocious, but that's just intuition, to be fair. 3 copies. Ostinato, if you don't already have it, is 3 of. And Charging Sarcophagus, if you're playing this deck, is always a 3 of. So, you know, little crafting guide at the same time. But yeah, I just wanted to say, you know, probably should not buy this pack. Probably should just save your gems for like the big meta shift that's upcoming. I'm still going to cover the pack. I like a lot of the stuff in here, and I'm still going to do a deck showcase and all that stuff, but I didn't want to be completely transparent before I start pulling out all the deck profiles and everything, right? So that's it. We're still going to cover all the decks. I think a lot of them are really interesting, but I just wanted to be completely upfront and honest about my thoughts on it. So yeah, a little bit of a discussion video this morning, bit of a low effort, just kind of just wanted to get my thoughts out there on the pack. Today I'm going to be, you know, dueling a lot, getting some replays and stuff to get you a nice, probably a Snake Eyes Melodious deck profile later today, just because from my testing with Pure, I just don't even think it's worth advertising the Pure deck, to be honest with you. And then after that, I really want to do Flame Swordsman, really want to revisit Illusion, maybe Illusion Runic or maybe Illusion Pure, I'm not sure yet. but the support is really, really cool. So I would like to revisit that deck. And we're also going to do a deck showcase. So that's the last thing I'm going to say. Join the Discord if you want to send any lists. I'm not going to be covering every single new list that's available here on the channel, but we will be covering them as much as possible using that deck showcase. So for example, if you're a Madolche player, if you send a list and a replay for Madolche, we can put it in the deck showcase. And, you know, at least people have that resource so that they have kind of like access to a little tutorial for every single deck that is coming into the format with this new pack. Okay, I've yapped a lot. Thank you, and see you later.